we're going to blow on out of here. Now we're aiming for our station. There's our station. It is off axis by quite a bit because we did do a little bit of hopping around, but we'll get there. Set that as a target. And the big important thing, the station as it comes around is going to the south. Yeah, we should leave right now. I was about to say, should I wait? But then we're going through the night, and I don't think this thing might not even make it through the night. I don't know what its electricity situation is. So we're going to launch right now. We're going to head towards the south. We're going to have to do some kind of plane change. We'll deal with all of that. South is okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, launch. We're off. South is obviously this way. Make sure to clear the hill. That's always going to be a good plan. And I'm watching really the Apple axis now. We're going to cut at about 10 kilometers. There we go. I'm being asked about orders of playlists. If you go to my homepage, the playlists for that Making Space Home series are in order. And I think I even numbered them in the description of each playlist. So that's directed towards Haregs, I guess. Sorry about that. Okay. And actually, while we're ascending here, while I'm speaking about names, I do want to thank everybody in the chat, everyone who's watching this at a later time. But especially I want to thank my Patreon patrons and YouTube members while we make our way up here towards Apoapsis. And a special thanks goes out to my most recent members, and I'm just going to give them all a bit of a shout out right now. We have Shogun 2357. We have Roland Freewagner. We have Caracol, and we have Michael Janowski. Thank you very much, people, and to all of my Patreon patrons and YouTube members. Really does help keep me inspired to keep doing these things. So, about 2 minutes away from Apoapsis here. There we go. Yeah, I did mess up the time for this stream, and I'm sorry about that. My stream times are always 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so that's going to work out to whatever time that is in your local area. I don't have a stream tomorrow. I do my streams on Mondays and on Thursdays. So my next stream will be Thursday. Though my Thursday streams are not for KSP. My Thursday streams are always a different game other than KSP. Right now, that game is Subnautica. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of orbital insertion here. Okay. And let's just kind of turn it this way for our solar panels. There we go. Whoops. And let's see what we can do. So here is our orbit. Here is the orbit of the station. It ain't pretty. We should be able to make this work. We still have 175 meters per second left, so I'm bustling with confidence, but we'll see. So we're going to want to meet the station where our orbits cross, which is always going to be at either the ascending node or the descending node. So I'm just putting a maneuver here at the descending node, and I'm just pushing this forward. And I am coming nowhere near the station, as you can see. The close encounter indicators are very far away from each other. So why don't we then try moving this around to the ascending node? And as luck would have it, those are coming pretty close. I think I'm going to make that one work for us. If neither of those worked, I would have popped ahead to the next orbit and tried again. But I think this is going to work for us here. So this is a 5.9 kilometer separation. Let's see if we can make that into a smaller number. And Minmus is all pretty forgiving, which is really nice. You can Oh, it's going to work out pretty well. You don't have to be super duper close. Because Minmus's gravity well is just not as... the gravity gradient is not as high as it is around Kerbin. Is really what it is. Or the moon, for that matter. So that makes it just... everything's just more forgiving. The space is more flat. In other ways, you know, I got a 1.1 kilometer separation. That's fine. And you can actually tell whether you got enough fuel in order to do this right now. So this is an 8.1 meter per second burn. That's nothing. My encounter speed is at 76.3 meters per second. That is the amount of delta V at a minimum that I'm going to need to expend in order to match orbits with the ship. And I have 175 meters per second of delta V left, so I can see from that we are going to be absolutely fine. So you can actually tell whether you got enough fuel before you actually get into the situation of just running out of fuel. And once you're in orbit, we could always send people to come out and rescue as well. That Kerbin looks very weird right now. Something's up with that. Okay. We are having the burn in 35 minutes. This is going to be interesting. Well, got 48 minutes till these guys leave the SOI, so might just be doing this burn, jumping over to the Nerve 1 and then jumping back. I am playing the first Subnautica game. And I think I'm probably 1, maybe 2 streams away from finishing it. And then I'm probably just... I'm going to do a poll and see what... Oh, this is weird. There we go. And see what people want for me to play the next game. And if the next game, if the poll turns out to say I want you to play Below Zero, then I'll be playing Below Zero on Thursdays as well. Alright, we got this burn coming. I should be nerfing this thrust. Be doing lots of things. There we go. You know what, I'm just going to lock this on program. I'm sure it's fine. A little bit closer here. We'll start a little early. How about now? So I'm letting this come right down. There we go. And then I'm going to get rid of the maneuver. And then I'm just looking at our separation here. It's about 1.9 kilometers. So I'm just going to use some RCS puffs to bring that as low as I got. I got it down about 1. There we go. 1 kilometer separation. That's fine. That is fine as far as I'm concerned. And we're going to be meeting up there in 26 minutes and 12 seconds. But we're going to be... The Nerve 1 is going to cross the SOI into for Minmus in 12 minutes. So why don't we jump over to the Nerve 1. And then we'll come back to here and finish off the rendezvous. Charming and comfortable. Okay, so here is the Nerve 1-SN1. And according to this, we're about 12.5 minutes away. 13.5 minutes away. It gave me 1 minute warning. So I don't like letting ships cross SOIs without me being nearby. It bugs me. You can see all of the surface samples they're carrying. So, oh, I know why we still have some on the lander, because there's only so many slots to carry samples. No, that's not true. I don't know why then. Oh, maybe I do know why. You know what? I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, that was the alarm. Let's just cross here. And we'll just talk really briefly about what these folks are up to. They're on their way back home. But in order to go home, they have to go to... Kerbin Station here. This is their target. The Warrior King Memorial Space Station. So we're going to be doing some aerobraking and some plane changes as well. And rendezvous with that. There docked is a space plane that we will take down to the surface and finally get these folks safely back home. But right now, what I think I need to do is get back to my lander. And did I have it actually as a lander? It is the Pug something something. Oh, it might not be. It might be like Minmus Station Vessel or something. Oh, what is it here? Minmus Lander. Okay, that makes some sense. Go. Okay, here we are. So we are, how far away are we from our target? We are 11 minutes from our target. There's our target over there. It's going to be coming at us sort of sideways because of the plane difference, but should be working out okay. About 3 minutes away. Let's take a quick look and see if we need to do any... we can do some small course changes here. So I'm just pushing this over, just really looking at this distance. I'm wondering if I'm better off pushing more this way. Oh, that's about it there. Get ourselves closer. We're still chucking at about 70 meters per second relative to the station, so we gotta be a little careful. Definitely want to lose some of this velocity. Alright, we're about a minute and a half from the station, even though we're still 6 kilometers away, because we're going real fast, so I should probably really start bleeding off a lot of this speed. Just watching my time and making sure that time doesn't start getting too close. And while we're matching speeds, we're also, of course, matching orbits, which is the whole idea here. So that we're doing a big plane change at the same time, but we really kind of aren't even aware of it. We don't have to think about it. As long as we match velocities, we're taking care of that. Should look at, too, how many ignitions are left on this thing? 14. So we'll get Bill to come out and service that engine. Make sure it's ready for its next journey. Get closer. We'll get at least within the render distance. We aren't even at that yet. Get this thing back in its berth, and then we'll start doing some aerobraking. That's always fun. And honestly, this crew will likely, I'll do that base contract just to finish off that contract, but that will likely mark the end. I have largely bled away or gotten the science I can get out of Minmus, but what I haven't done is done nearly as much around the moon. And I really do want to be getting science. Where is it here? Here we are. 428 science. I haven't gone into the Research and Development Center for a little while. Whoa, 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 I'm not paying attention. Shoot. talking and killing velocity at the same time, and I almost went a little too far. Okay, let's get over to the station here. This looks like our docking port of choice. Let's get rid of this alarm too. Don't need that. Pop back. We'll set that as a target. Get ourselves a lot closer. Chill off a little bit more velocity, and really then we'll switch over to docking ports and RCS. In fact, I think I might just do that right now. So control from here, spin this around. Oh, I'm on the wrong docking port. Shoot, set that one as a target. There we go, that makes a lot more sense. There we go. Okay, let's slow down here. Coming in a little quick. There we go. So little red, I always get asked about this little red icon. This is the nav ball docking alignment indicator, and it's just there to help you line up the docking ports. But it's really, really useful. Now these two docking ports are parallel to each other, so all I got to do is bring this target icon towards my ship icon, and I do that by simply kind of herding it in with that prograde icon. But really, I find very much helps with docking. Almost there already. Come on, there we go. Okay, we are docked. Turn off the reaction wheels again. Control, toggle that torque. A little bit of wobbly happening, but not too bad. We will EVA our Kerbals over. So transfer our crew. Michael's going to go into the lounge over here. And Legee going to go get to work in that science lab, because the science lab is converting these two samples to transmittable science. It should be anyway. Oh, toggle lab. There it is. Now it's doing it. And it's turning it into science that it's going to transmit back to the KSC. But it does it really, 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 really slowly. So we'll probably be taking most of it back. Rather, let's transfer. I think we should be able to transfer our data over here, so these samples are at least there. So we'll be leaving in this vessel. All right, and to be honest, we can level up some crew. I'll do that before we leave these folks. Okay, good. Michael A is now a level 3 pilot. Nice. I do want to bring down Hector and Bill for no other reason, just to give them some more experience, because they've not been on the surface of Minmus yet. I'll try and land them in a biome that we've not been in yet, so we can collect even some more science. But I think I will do that between the two streams, because it's going to be pretty much a carbon copy of what you just saw. So what I think I shall do, well, actually what I should do, shut down that engine and really quickly, just remembered I'm going to get Bill to, Bill is going to just service the engine there. Because if I don't do it right now, I'll forget, and then it'll fail at some crucial juncture. And I certainly don't want that to happen. So inspect the engine and service the engine. And now the engine is beautiful. Okay, up we go. Grab a hold, Bill. In you go. We're going to leave these folks for now. We'll be back to Minmus again for sure, because I still do have that one base contract, and the other contract is not done until these folks are safely back at home. But speaking of being safely back home, we have the Nerve1-SN1 on its way to Kerbin now. So I think that should really be our concentration should be placed there. Okay, we are in orbit about Kerbin. Let's think about this. And our destination here is Kerbin Station. Well, we select it this way. Or the WKMSS. And we do have an inclination difference of 6.1 degrees because we're coming out of Minmus's orbit, and this station is in equatorial orbit. I do have another station, Minmus Station, which is in a, unfortunately it's a, oh my god, it's even called the core module instead. But it is in an orbit that matches Minmus's plane, but the issue is that I want to bring this ship to Kerbin State. I had 2 of these ships associated with Minmus. I want this ship in the future to be for going to the moon. So that's why I'm bringing it to an equatorial station rather than... It's going to let me focus on the target. There we go. That's what I want. Okay, so that's why I'm bringing it here, because I want this in the future to go to the moon, rather than having 2 vessels for Minmus. Okay, I think my best plan is to simply do a flat-out aerobrake, and then we'll go and work to match planes. So, 45 kilometers should be good. I have aerobraked this thing before, and I always find that is a fairly safe, but I'm going to quick save anyway, because who knows what's going to happen. And I'm going to set an alarm. And over here, Kerbal Engineer should be telling me when we're going to be hitting the atmosphere. Time to atmosphere is 5 days exactly. So we're going to add an alarm for our periapsis, but we're going to give us like 15 minutes warning. That should stop us before we get there. I think so. Add that alarm. There we go. Okay, let's get down there. F5. They've got nothing else to do in the meantime, so we're just going to flat out time warp. Oh, we run out of hard drive space on our, I think, somewhere. Oh, we're getting science from our probes that are sitting on various different biomes on Minmus. Nice. I think our lab module just ran out. I don't think I have a good enough antenna on Minmus Station. I think I messed up on that. One thing at a time. That's okay. All right, coming in on Kerbin, looking big and blue and beautiful. Passing through radiation belts. Okay, here we go. Let's get rid of alarm clock. Let's stick this onto the retrograde vector. We need to retract everything. I'm thinking that's 1. Try again. 1, 2. Okay, we're going to get into our editing action groups. 1, 2. Really? I don't have this set to an action. 0! There we go. Okay. 0. Come on, you want to do it. 0. There we go. Retracting all of our things that might explode. And yeah, otherwise we're just going to ride this through. This is just the end of it. So let's get down to when we're entering into the atmosphere. And I did do a quick save, so if this goes badly... Whoa, we are black. Okay, so I'm sorry about, even the lights aren't working right now. That really stinks. That is a scatterer thing that happens and then it goes away. So all we have is a perfectly black silhouette. Oh boy, here we go. Well, now we can see it. So what I do want to do is watch. There. I want to watch the temperature on these air brakes because they can get a little bit too hot. And somewhere here it is, critical thermal temperature. The hottest part right now is the atomic engine. It is at 44%, 45% of the way to blowing up. Always a little scary, but pretty soon we should be seeing these air brakes getting very hot. They should catch them because they are getting a lot of heat right now. Still the engine. Engine's fine. It can take a crazy amount of heat. Only at 52%. We are 15 seconds from periapsis. Wow, I think I could have been more aggressive than this. I almost feel like something's changed. Usually I'm seeing heat bars and stuff, but no. Okay, we're passing periapsis. We're now on our way up, which means that the worst of all of this is over. Wow, I'm honestly a little bit surprised that wasn't more dramatic. And hopefully the next time we'll come around, things won't be so black. My Minmus lab is not broadcasting. No, I think the antenna's messed up on it. I got to figure that out. I think that's why I'm always bringing back samples rather than processing them. I think I just have something wrong. But I'll have to investigate exactly why. It could be the antenna just on that station is just not good enough. I might have done something dumb like just put a communitron on it. I'll have to investigate. But in the meantime, we have brought down our apoapsis to about 2,000 kilometers. You can see how much, remember, it started way out here at Minmus's altitude. Now it's much lower. And I also should have been watching my relative inclination. Shoot. What if I put it here? You can change inclination by doing this. You have to be a little careful because things can get a little hot. And you're using the, here I can't even see it. You're using the surface of the vehicle to actually affect inclination. I don't think the air, no, the air's not thick enough for it. So don't worry about it. Hopefully the next time around it won't be black either. Alright, so we're through. Okay, we'll deploy everything. Let's get to a point where we can actually see what the heck's going on. Okay, we're... Oh my gosh, I hate this blackness. If anyone knows exactly... I know it has to do with scatterer. There are settings down here, but I really... There we go. But I really don't want to get into playing with settings. Let's do this for the solar panel. I really don't want to get in playing with settings live. What I want to do, though, is adjust... We're coming up to our ascending node here, so I'm going to adjust our inclination with Kerbin. Okay, we're about 40. We're going to need to burn anti-normal. And right now our relative inclination is 6.1 degrees. I want to bring that down to 0. And that will help facilitate a... Are we pointing in the right way? Orbit. There we go. Okay, 20 seconds away from our ascending node, and then we'll just start burning. I could have done this with a maneuver, but I didn't. Put it this way. Okay, let's do it. You can see here, change in inclination. I also want to watch that periapsis. I don't want it to get too low. I might have to fix that after. There we go. So we have now a relative inclination of 0 with our station. Also, I've been forgetting, I can turn on trajectories here. We will be going through in a retrograde direction. And if I turn on trajectories, yep, it is saying on our next pass, our orbit's going to be like this gray one, and then on our that will take us and we will crash, which clearly I don't want to do. So I'm going to go out towards our apoapsis here. And we're going to push this a little bit prograde. And I just want to raise... Trajectories is saying our next pass is going to be pretty sketchy. Oh, but that's with everything deployed. That's why trajectories is... Oh, the file is not flagged for transmission, says John. Okay, let me deal with this, and then I'll take a look at what's going on Minmus Station. All right. Yeah, we're almost at apoapsis. I want to push this periapsis up to about 44 kilometers. That's pretty good. Now, notice what trajectories is predicting for, like, that we're going to come through, we're going to do this orbit, and then we're going to crash. But that's because it's looking at all the drag of all of this. If I retract all that, it updates the trajectory, so now we're coming way out here. See that? So be a little conscious of that with trajectories, that you want to take a look at the state of your vessel and make sure that's the state at which you're going to be going through the atmosphere, or else trajectories won't give you an accurate prediction. Now, let's get to Minmus Station. Don't need that. Because, not go to it, but somebody's saying that my data is not flagged for transmission. It is not making data at all. The laboratory has been disabled. The laboratory is now active. I think I'm running into transmission issues. Now I'm looking at this. Now that should be getting transmitted. But I think the problem is that we're generating data faster than the station can transmit it. And I think because I just have a crappy antenna on it right now. So I'm not making very good use of the lab, is really what the short of all of that is. Okay. Anyway, we're going to be going through the atmosphere once again. So quick save. Our periapsis is at 44 kilometers. That should be good. What is our engine situation here? 22 ignition still. That's good. Well, watch this data transmit. See what it says. But you can see the hard drive is filling. We're now at 88% full. Or not, 88% free. So I think, and that's not over a lot of time. So I think the hard drive's filling. I got to look at that. I don't think I was thinking about transmissions very well from Minmus Station. Okay, that, and that. Kerbalism makes you think about a lot of things. And I got a feeling we're going to go all black again. It has me a feeling. Yeah, there we go. We're black. Going through, watching that apoapsis, hoping nothing goes wrong. And sorry for the blackness of everything. I'll try and figure out what's going on with that. And you know, mods. Only 19 years of nitrogen left. I'm looking through the comments now. Nitrogen, the prediction for how much nitrogen you have left, like if I look at info nitrogen, these guys have over 12 years of nitrogen left. That's based on just the natural leakage of the station if you keep everything closed. But every time you do an EVA, this goes down by a chunk. Now, I do have 374 EVAs available, so I don't think I have a problem. But older versions of Kerbalism had issues with nitrogen, so I always I got a habit of just putting on way too much nitrogen, and so now they have way more nitrogen than what they need. That's to explain why they have over 12 years of nitrogen. Nitrogen is used to pressurize the cabins, by the way. Okay, so we're through there. Oh my gosh, my apoapsis is down to 260 kilometers. I think I'm not going to do another pass. I think this is it. I think Trajectories was not predicting it to be as low as this, but that's okay. I'm perfectly happy with that. It's perfectly happy with that. Keep an eye on Minmus Station. Okay. Almost through here. Oh, I certainly hope I don't have to dock in the dark. If it comes out to be that, I might leave and come back and hope that this gets re-rendered in a better state. Alright, so we are now in this blue orbit, and according to trajectories on our next pass, we're going to crash right here. So we're not going to do that. Instead, what we're going to do is push our periapsis up to the altitude of the station. So job 1 is to turn off trajectories because we don't need it anymore. So trajectories gets turned off. And we're going to put a maneuver out here. And we're going to push this out. I'm going to do this with a maneuver because I really want this periapsis to be like right. I want the periapsis to be just matching here. And you can tell when that close encounter indicator is really close. You know the periapsis is actually right at that orbit. Alright, so that burn's coming up in 12 minutes and 45 seconds. So let's get to that. And hope the sun comes up. There we go. Now we can see again. We are crossing radiation belts. I've not been paying attention to that. Are they okay? Maybe I should be really watching them more than anything else. They are getting a lot of rads. This is a shielded vessel, right? Maybe? I don't even know anymore. It is. It's a shielded vessel. They're not getting as much, so... Yeah, oh yeah, they're nowhere near getting... They're like, I got a quarter of a lethal dose of radiation. It's fine. They're fine. Okay, prograde. Prograde, Valentina. I am a fan of this vessel. You know what else this vessel can do? Here, let's do this burn and then I'll talk about it. 3 and go. This vessel has about 2 kilometers per second of delta V when it's fully fueled, which is enough for it to easily stick its nose out of Kerbin's SOI. Sorry. How's that looking over on this end? Oh, I'm pretty happy with that. That's easily enough for it to stick its nose out of Kerbin's SOI and do some little EVA reports and some science and stuff out in orbit about the sun, which definitely is an easy science mission and an experience mission for our Kerbals here. Let's see here. We got to orchestrate ourselves a rendezvous is what we has to do.